Hi, everyone. It's Coach Elaine here. I wanted to talk to you today about the 5 most important things that you can do to lose 10 pounds by Valentine's Day or more. It depends on you. So it's really, it's never as complicated as you think. But I want to start by talking about the first thing, which is, I think for many of us, the hardest thing, which is self-acceptance. So if we can't accept ourselves where we are now, we won't be able to commit to the things we need to do to be able to change our habits and our behaviors and be able to impact our metabolism in such a dramatic way that we are able to lose the weight we want to. You have to accept where you are now so you can go where you want to go. There's a whole lot that can be spoken about that, but for today, I just want you to really think about the impact of what we think and how we feel about ourselves has on the choices we make each day that particularly impact our health. So that is the number one thing I think that you need to focus on in order to make an impact on your weight and your health in the short term and especially in the long term. Okay, so the second thing you need to do is jumpstart that metabolism. Most of us have done multiple diets or tried many, many things over the period of our lives. We've done shakes, we've tried intermittent fasting, we've tried carb cycling, we've tried starving ourselves. And then in between, regardless of the outcome, whether we've lost the weight or whether we've failed early on, most often, if you have had some success, it's going to come right back on because we haven't developed habits and behaviors that sustain a healthy life. And instead, we put our systems through these restrictive and unhealthy behaviors that can have a detrimental effect long-term. Now, I'm not saying that intermittent fasting or carb cycling are bad. So let me make that clear. If those are diets that work for you and are sustainable and something that you can do every day and that makes you happy and you are fulfilled doing that, then those are great. But for most of us, they're too restrictive and too thought and labor intensive to be maintainable. So here are the things you need to do to dramatically and quickly impact your metabolism today and over the next few weeks. 1, improve your sleep. I'm one of the biggest culprits. I struggle with sleep. Now that I'm in my early 50s, I really have a hard time getting to sleep, staying to sleep. Some of it is hormonal. It's just life in that sense. But a lot of it for me is mental. And I think for a lot of us, it's stress related and things like that. So it's really important to create routines. And the more sleep becomes challenging, the more dedicated to our sleep routines we need to be. So make sure that you have, I mean, if anybody's ever researched sleep, I'm not going to be telling you anything new, but I am going to be telling you because these things work. You want to make sure your sleep environment is calm and quiet and comfortable. You want to sleep in a pitch black room, and it doesn't matter if you like a noise machine or if you like it super quiet. It has to be one or the other. You need to be consistent every day. I've actually gotten myself eye mask because I have like an air filter that runs. And then, you have those charger things and they make light. Everything makes light and that really disrupts sleep. So they sell really cool masks now that like don't touch your eyeballs and stuff. So I love mine. It's pitch black and it's super comfortable. I recommend that. Also, you want to have a really consistent bedtime routine. You want to make sure that a certain amount of time before you go to bed, you stop doing work. There needs to be a cutoff for that. And then you need a certain amount of time where you stop looking at screens. And then you need to have that wind down routine you have at night, whether it's listening to music or maybe doing a nice calm meditation, or anything like that. I utilize the app Headspace, and I listen to their little bedtime wind down every night. And it is so nice. I don't remember the last time I heard the last 5 minutes of it. It's so great. And it's only a 10-minute recording. So sleep, that's the first thing in number 2. You're getting a big bang for your buck today. Hydrate. We are all chronically dehydrated. If you're not drinking water consistently in the day, it's really easy to get behind. So make sure that you are hydrating. And a good goal is to make sure you are drinking in ounces half of your body weight. So if you weigh 120 pounds, you want to be drinking 60 ounces, or if you weigh 150 pounds, you want to be drinking 75 ounces. So it's a really good gauge, and it's a good way to make sure you're hydrated without overhydrating and being overly obsessed with drinking so much water. Unless you really are currently a really active athletic person who sweats a lot, that should be just what your body needs in hydration. And if you're dehydrated and you start drinking more, you're going to feel so much better. It'll be crazy. So I dare you to drink more water. Get yourself a bottle dedicated to you that you carry around, and you fill it. I have a 24-ounce bottle that I carry around. I fill it 3 times each day. I drink it all. I've had my hydration for the day. Okay. Number 3 things to jumpstart your metabolism is moving your body. And now I'm not talking about exercise here. I'm talking about that non-exercise activity that we take for granted. And as we get older, and as our lives change and our children grow up, and we are less chasing them around and going from here to there, we don't even realize that we move significantly less. So take the stairs. Make sure you get in your steps. Oh, I can tell you, years ago when I started CrossFit, I was like, oh, steps, people who track their steps, phooey. I was wrong. Steps are so crucial. The more I walk, the less I weigh, guys. I'm not even kidding. My goal is 10,000 steps a day. If you can do that, that's amazing. Make that your goal. In addition, take the stairs. I don't know, go the long way through the grocery store. Whatever it is that's going to allow you to just get in a little extra movement. Take an extra step, take an extra run to the laundry room. I don't know, just find ways to keep yourself moving. It's going to make a big impact. You burn like 15 to 20% of your calories just doing that, which I think is pretty impressive. I mean, that's not even counting your baseline breathing, heart beating kind of calories. Okay, the next thing to jumpstart your metabolism is reducing your stress. Now, here's one that I am in the process of working on. Excuse-moi. Stress is hard, right? We get older, and our life stressors change. If you have younger children, you worry about them, and your stress is a lot more active. My kids are a little bit older. My stress when it comes to them is a lot of worry and a lot of trying to figure things out and help teenagers, whatever, traverse being a teenager, which is just, how did we all survive? I have no idea. And then, we have all our other stressors. We have our, we have marriages, we have homes, we have jobs, we have people who rely on us, and it can be a lot. So managing it is hugely important. Stress creates a hormone called cortisol. And if you haven't heard about cortisol, you should Google it. It's actually a good hormone. It is there for a reason. All the chemicals in our body have a good purpose. The problem with cortisol is if we keep it up high for too long, our body will hold on to fat, because cortisol is trying to regulate our nervous system. And if it stays up too long, it doesn't allow us to burn our calories as efficiently as we need. And that is a lot of our problem as we get older too, is stress kind of overtakes it. And if you're a woman, we're already fighting the loss of hormones. So balancing our hormones is really important, and reducing stress is a key component to doing that. So meditate. I've been meditating. It's amazing. If you can't get into meditation, just do some deep breathing. When you're trying to get in those 10,000 steps, make one of those activities that's not specifically for working out, make it a walk. And while you're walking, do some, like have a focus of your walk, whatever it is that helps you reduce your stress. Spend time with people who fill your bucket. I know that when I spend time with my good friends, I feel better and I feel less stressed. Pet a dog or a cat. For me, if anybody knows me, I'm obsessed with dogs and cats and babies. Those things reduce my stress. I want to be calm for them, and I feel calmer interacting with them. So whatever, anything that works for you to reduce your stress, any little thing you can do each day is going to make a big impact. Okay, so those are the things you need to do for the second secret on losing these pounds you want to lose by Valentine's Day. Okay, number 3. This is a no-brainer, guys. Eat a balanced diet. I know, what does a balanced diet mean? Here is a brilliant rule of thumb, and it takes all of the guessing out of it, especially in the short term. It is such a simple thing to do. I didn't say easy, but it is simple. Eat single ingredient foods: chicken, broccoli, quinoa, steak, turkey, grapes, raspberries, spinach. You don't have to think about what's in them. Most of the time, if you're especially choosing leaner meats and you're prepping your food with less fat, and you're making sure that you're getting a good amount of protein when you're serving yourselves portions, that will make a dramatic impact on your life. Avoid things in boxes. I know, rice comes in a bag, but the only ingredients on that bag is rice, right? Sometimes it's an items in a can, but it is like chickpeas and water or salt and water. That's, to me, close enough to a single ingredient food to clean up your diet. But if it's in a box and it has more than 1 or 2 really reasonable ingredients, you don't want to eat them, especially for the next few weeks. You'll see some reasonably quick weight loss due to the fact that your body will not be holding on to all the water it holds on to when we fill it with processed foods and things like high fructose corn syrup and in that high sodium. Cooking with single ingredient foods is the best way to keep yourself honest when you're eating and not have to read a label. So that's a big one. So lean meats, fruits, veggies, and whole grains. Obviously, pay attention to how foods work for you. Some people, certain grains don't work for. Some people, they're fine. I have no issue with dairy or gluten, but some people do have issues with those things. So just be aware. But otherwise, that's your number 3. Okay. Number 4, muscle. You do need to exercise. Part of losing weight and becoming a healthier person is staying fit. And as we get older, it's more and more important that we do what's called resistance training, also known as weightlifting. I know for a lot of people, that's a very scary thing, but it is really important in for many reasons to put our body under load, like squatting with weight, deadlifting, lifting heavy things, Now, I want you always to move well. I want you to have a coach or get a personal trainer who can teach you how to move safely. But building muscle burns calories. It's all there is to it. It also creates denser bones, which is so important. If you're like me, I don't want to hit my 80s and die in a hospital from a broken hip because I have brittle bones. When I can, starting today, prevent that from ever happening and have very healthy and dense bones as I get older. Then we want the muscle, because the muscle is going to burn the calories. Another form of exercise that I am very into, as I am an owner of a CrossFit gym, is considered high intensity interval training. Those are short, intense workouts that drive up our intensity and our calorie burn. And because they're short and intense, it allows the burn to stay a little longer. So the more intense, the longer the burn. So I'm not saying join CrossFit. I mean, yes, I am, but don't. Find a workout that works for you, but exercise, do it. 3 days a week minimum, 3. If you're doing it 2, you're going to be sore all the time. And no one wants to be sore all the time. If you do it 3 times a week, you'll get steady gains. If you do 4, for me, 4 is the sweet spot. You get really good improvements in your physical health. And then you also feel really good in your day-to-day. Okay, that's the first 4. The first one was self-acceptance. Loving who you are, looking in the mirror, accepting who you are, so that you can then be at peace with where you are and commit to where you'd like to go. Number 2, we're jumpstarting our metabolism through better sleep habits, through hydration, moving our body in non-exercise activities, and reducing stress. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to be eating a balanced diet of single ingredient foods. Number 4, we're going to start exercising if we haven't yet, and we're going to add resistance to our workouts and build muscle. Finally, my 5th secret to getting those 10 plus pounds off by Valentine's Day is mastery. That means making it a priority every single day to get just a little bit better at each one of these 4 other things. So it's all fine and good to know these 4 things, but if we don't make it an absolute priority every day, that we're going to make at least one improvement, maybe just add 8 ounces of water to your day, maybe make the first week, make just 1 meal a day, only single ingredient foods, and then just do your best for the rest. And then the next week you make 2 meals, right? So we don't have to rip the Band-Aid off all at once. We can gradually build into this. Now that is why when I announced this video that I said 10 plus pounds, and that's where it's in your hands. What are you capable of? What are you willing to commit to? And how bad do you want it? So those are the 5 things, you guys. I hope this video was really helpful for you. Please reach out, leave me a comment, or reach out. Yeah, direct message me. This is going to be directly sent to you. I really hope this was helpful. Please feel free also to reach out and let me know what your plans are, if you're going to follow these 5 tips so that you can lose a little bit of weight for that Valentine's Day coming up. And don't forget that I also, I coach people for a living, and I'm happy to help you. Hold your hand if you want some longer term help and you really need somebody to lift you up for reaching these goals. Just shoot me a DM and let me know, and we can just talk and see what will work and what won't. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope I'll talk to you guys soon.